So let's think about this, shall we? What do we do? We get on the winning side. Or we adapt, change, and overcome. Or you adapt, change, and blend in. But, you know, humans have always been known to live better on their own 2 feet. You know, rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And throughout history, mankind has always overcome. It seems that the biggest enemy of mankind is mankind. Always the case. Always the case. So I hope you enjoyed all that. But what I really want to talk about now is, what do we do? You better get with your local peoples, your local groups, your mags, I don't want to say militia, because a militia, well, yeah, a militia, but not in the sense of, Proud Boys or 3%ers, but that's a start. But more like a community of people living in an area that are sworn to protect it. So, in having that, that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to do. You know that Sweden, in I don't know if it's still like that now, but if you lived in Sweden, especially around the Alps, I believe, you were issued an M1 grant, or you were issued a rifle and 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and you were the militia. Congratulations! You want to live here? Boom! You are now part of the militia. You are now part of the armed force. I don't think they call them militia, but don't quote me on that. But a lot of countries require that. A lot of communities require that. There's places in Africa that everybody responds if there's something going on. If there's an issue, everybody responds, and they have guns. It's Africa. You can get whatever you want, and everybody has everything. You can get what you want, and they do. So, a lot of places are trying to, be draconian, and there is actually a push. A Antifa type kind of movement, socialist movement going on, and I forgot the name of them. It's some kind of stupid name, but it's big, and they act a fool down there in more ways than one. They're a lot worse than Antifa, and they have rallies, and they have protests, and they have riots, and they have literally just run amok. And rape, pillage, burn, and loot and murder. And shit, that's back in the 90s. That's why I was there. But, that was a little different. That was a sweep. That was a nationwide sweep. Mostly nationwide sweep. But, I think about that too. You're going to have all these splinter groups, these balkanized, land masses, these redrawn borders. Times are going to be hard. One place is not going to do so good. They're not going to have the resources that everybody else has. All right? So, but they might have the manpower. Just stands to reason, since there is no rule of law except for militia and whatever that balkanized nation can provide for law enforcement and protection, security, internal security of their lands, whatever they can provide. You might just see a bunch of warlords pop up. You might see a Negan or two. I mean, why not? And like I said before, the borders will be open. There will be no unified military. All right, let's think about that for a minute. Our unified military will be gone. It will be split up, much like what happened to the USSR. All assets kind of went to whatever country was holding it. And they're maybe, and if the things were bad, they just started selling shit. Okay, you want to buy a Dushka? I've got 15 of them. Put them on your Toyota right now. Free installment if you buy 2. I mean, oh, you want to buy a nuke? Ah, well, there's a payment plan. Will that be cash or credit, sir? We do prefer gold bullion. I mean, that's what happened. They sold a bunch of shit. Is that what's going to happen here? Sure, why not? Hell yeah. Are you kidding me? So having you best get to know your, and we don't think about this right now because everything is fine. It's all gravy. Yeah, prices are going up. Yeah. There's talk of more mandates and requirements and all this crap. And they're going to take this right from us and that right from us, and soon we'll have no rights. Well, so far so good, so what? To quote an 80s rock band, or 90s rock band. But these are things to think about. And it's regardless of where you are in your standing. It's regardless. If you're a prepper, you're going to be pulled in. If you're a homesteader, you're going to be pulled in. Everyone will be affected. Everyone. Homeless on the street, the hobos, everybody. Everybody will be affected. The rich, the poor, the working class, the suburbanites, everybody. Every race, color, creed, religion, and gender, whatever. There's only 2 genders, by the way. That's how it's set. That's how this whole system works. It's just 2 genders. But it's going to affect everyone. I mean, it's a total radical change of the life as we know it, and things are going to get hard if it goes that way. And so, community and community groups, armed security community groups with internal security, with their own form of pest control, if you will. Pest elimination. That's very important too. So people with skills, that's going to be very important. All those jobs that you bounced around from time to time, start remembering that shit. It's going to be needed. If not for yourself, for others. If you can be of service, be of service. So, and just being able to take a walk and be eyes and ears with a loaded weapon, being able to get online and go forward and assault an objective without shooting everybody. To be able to do shit like this effectively and get out of town. So, you know, I like fire teams. Fire teams. Four people in a fire team. And so all that very expensive gear out there, you better get it while you can. I am. I'm trying. Woo, man, I'm trying. It's hard, let me tell you. So, you know, having eyes in the night. Because I told you about the capabilities. And that doesn't change just with balkanization. All right. Does the federal government become its own collection of states? If so, they own all those capabilities. You know, there's redundancies and contingencies in case of that. And who gets that? Where does it go? It doesn't get destroyed. That's knowledge. Knowledge is power. Somebody's going to have that, and somebody's going to continue to use it. You know, and so it's what's being proposed. What's being proposed as our future is very, very bleak. And tell you the truth, we really need to squash that. We need, of all things, is to preserve this democratic republic. We need to. All right? We need to, or it will be the death of us all. So, this is just closing thoughts on my video I made in the middle of the night on a Saturday. I just couldn't think anymore. I mean, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do anything. I stayed up till about 2:00 in the morning, just going, what the fuck. So, and it's very useful for me to get all this out, and I hope you enjoy it. And, you know, the rantings of a madman, Mad Chad. By the way, that's what that says right there. That's my name in runes. It's funny that the name Mad, the word Mad, comes from Other, which is cognate with Odin, the Mad God. And Shad, well, you know, I can't show you. You have to look at it. But the S, yeah, the S. The H, yeah. The A, yes. The D you see is the TH, or it looks like a D. And in certain ways that the TH, or thin, thing, you know, that's one word in the Old Norse. So, and that's the origins of the letter D. You know, see, Odin. So, you see the D with the cross through it. It also is the same as that. The D with the cross is a more a younger version of all that. But anyway, I digress. Get me talking about stupid shit. I don't even know if that video is going to make it. I'm shocked that all my videos have still made it. But it's not anything doesn't anybody know? I mean, not know. So, yeah, I mean, and will it come? I don't know. When would this happen? I don't know. Nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. There's a lot of misinformation going on. You know, not only is there the whole thing about propaganda. Propaganda is misinformation. It's coercing someone into doing something that, you know, it's getting that desired effect, and you know, it's kind of like dropping pamphlets and leaflets out of a plane and onto your enemy, and you know, but using their own internal social media, you know, to do it is fucking brilliant. You outreach to millions, if not all, of the population of the country. So it's right out of the textbooks. It is. Yes. You know those guys, the alphabet soup. Yeah. Right out of those textbooks. And those textbooks are free to have. I mean, you can get those textbooks. They're everywhere. By the way. Some of the knowledge is you know, a lot of it's theory. And with theory comes, you know, practical application, and then you become, you know, it's an art, you know, to the skill. So, you know, you got to start with the theory and the concepts, you know, before you can move on to practical application. So that's how they do it. That's how they learn. Yeah. So just thinking, I mean, think about that. Think about how a community can protect itself, you know, in a volatile and ever-changing, you know, uncertain kind of world that we're facing. Or do we deny all that shit and preserve the Republic? Long live the Republic! You know? Some things to think about. Anyway. This is Mad Shad, encouraging you all to continue to train, continue to prep, because we all know it's a mad, mad world out there.